Morning, it's me T coming at you with a reading for today. And I just have to say, ain't nobody more grateful in this world more than I am today. That's all I have to say. That's all day today, all night tonight. I literally I just like felt into how fucking I'm just so grateful to be a part of this era. To have been born in this era because I get to literally work from home in the convenience of however it is that I freaking look, and I feel free. I feel free, which I'm so grateful for. And so, with that being said, I'm bringing a reading to you today of basically the Good Life reading, inspired by Ty Lopez. I really like him and his content. I'm gonna say majority of it, just because whatever, you know what I'm saying. Like, no one's perfect. But yeah, he does really good content. I'm just gonna say, personally speaking, sometimes it's too much for me because business can get if I take in too much business education, I can get frustrated because I'm not there yet. Do you get what I'm saying? So it might not be a negative thing. It's just me being me. I can only handle so much. And with that, by the way, I'd like to say there is that saying that says you're more stronger than you know. And hold on one second. So sorry. Which I have to still contemplate on, okay? And also, but there is also the other saying that is that says the Grandmaster G will never send you something that you can't handle, right? Which also talks a lot about strength and getting through it. So I'm gonna just say those are kind of coming through as messages, but one that I don't know, don't really I have to contemplate on, because for me, I'm still questioning it. The second one that I mentioned is completely true. I really do believe that, and I believe that as a soul contract, we kind of just have a mission to do down here. So the whole thing is, it's just get over the whole asking of why is this happening, or what is happening, and just kind of be in the state of gratitude to say thank you that this is happening. Because basically, and I just learned that recently from a youngin, which I appreciated, to basically just not be such a whimpering little bitch about things, but more so just and not being in victim mode, but just being gratitude that yeah, this is your responsibility to handle. Do you get what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean anything, less or more. And I just feel sometimes a lot of people they compare their life or their spiritual journey to another, and it's dude, we all are here basically. If it's not in this lifetime, we're all here doing the same shit at different times, you know what I'm saying? So hence the non-comparison, hence why comparing yourself to others or hating others makes no fucking sense. And that's a high vibrational teaching for today. That's all I gotta say. Because at one point, everybody's gonna be in each other's shoes, in regards to reincarnation. So it's kind of if it's not in this life, it's in the next life. You're gonna be, wealthy and rich and a non-haterade while at it, but also be a non-haterade while you don't have it. That's the key. Because as you are trying to obtain wealth, and more and more and more of it, which, I feel like everybody does, just to kind of make sure that they're, safe and secure. The whole thing is, and the prolonging of it is what I'm hearing, The whole key is to literally be in training of when the wealth comes, you need to be in your sheer gratitude, and you need to be in, your training mode. Like, you need to be applying what you've learned in training mode that, towards that wealth that comes in. All right. So I'm also very grateful that, this morning I personally didn't want to get up. But I'm very grateful that this reading in and of itself at the perfect timing, really kind of called me to do it. So this way, and this is why I'm saying it adds to how convenient it is, because I could just literally work from home, get it done first and foremost, be proud of myself, and move on to the next thing, in regards to taking care of myself. So, we're doing faith, doing health, we're doing wealth, we're doing woohoo. Oh, that one wanted to come out. All right. Okay. All right, let me breathe. All right. Also, let me just take another, give me a second. By the way, there's so much coming through. I love it. I have to keep on sipping. Also, I wanted to express today that death is not as scary as people are thinking it is. I know it comes through as it is, but I feel like it's spooky, right? Like, it can get spooky, where it's like, spooky, creepy, whatever. But it doesn't have to be that way. That's what I want to just reiterate there, because and that's like from the love of my heart. Like, it really doesn't have to be all that creepy. It could be like beautiful. It could be gentle. It could be so fucking wholesome, right? And obviously it all depends on how you go out, like in regards to, there's all different creative ways that happens. But I just want to let you know that no matter what way any body is taken out, and I'm talking about physical body, any body is taken out, just know that there's a beauty to it rather than a creepy spookiness to it. Like, that's a message that I wanted to get out there too, because I think people are just not like they're they don't go visit like their relatives in a fucking hospice because like maybe they're scared of like a person dying out on them, or like, the whole thing is, and everybody has a different experience with death. But I just want to let you know that death really needs to be looked at as a more beautiful thing rather than gory and creepy and spooky and all that shit. Like, honestly, and if your mind is creating that shit, like, where you have to be spooky or creepy or whatever, the whole thing is you have the reins to literally kind of, like, how there's like, a left brain and a right brain. Let's say your left and right brain were like two horses leading the way of your life, right? You yourself and you have the right to basically, I don't know what it's called, but I'm going to call it toggling, even though I don't know if that's the right word, but I'm just doing it out of the fun of it. But like, you have the right to take a hold of your brain, right? The right and the left hemisphere. And basically, like, if you're being too logical, you're like, pull back, basically, like, pull back the reins and then like switch it over to the left side. You know what I'm saying? I actually didn't put thought into that. It could be the opposite. So the right side. Okay. And so long story short, like, so if you're too logical, you have to rebalance yourself in the creative. You know what I'm saying? If you're too creative, you got to rebalance yourself in the logical. And so it really comes down to controlling your own mind with the reins in your hands to be basically like, Not so much in your own favor in a negative, egotistical way, but like in a real way to help yourself. You know what I'm saying? In the realest way to help yourself. So if you're seeing things in a weird perspective or like a really low vibrational perspective, you have each and every second, you have the power, you have the, control, you have the constraint even to literally, basically tell your brain what to do. And people don't realize that's the case. Like you can just just like in meditation, you can shut it up, you can quiet it down, when I say shut it up, don't speak negative to yourself, but just kind of like, you know, say I'm in control now, we're going to be shutting down for 5 minutes or whatever, and then just go into meditation mode. You have to kind of be able to have the strength to tell yourself what to do, and that's really good management. So that's your cup of happy this morning. Okay, as we get into the reading, we're going to start with faith first. And let's just see if what I said applied to the energies of today, which I always love when it pans out that way. So it's super fun. So faith is in the near future. Okay. Now today you might be receiving faith from the heavens because today's the number 10 day, which is a divine day, which is also super connected to just the divine, but also has a very big connection to Capricorn season. So it's powerful. What I'm also getting is that it has a huge directional aspect to it. Okay. So divine direction is coming your way. So you're being guided basically in what you need to do today for you, yourself, and you, and also what would benefit others at the same time, because that's the whole beauty to joy and win-win, as it is a win-win-win situation. So, also faith in the near future, you could be divinely planning the miracles out of which are going to come. And so let's see what health has to do. Okay. Forgiveness. Health has to do with forgiveness. Also, when it comes to forgiveness, I'm sensing that it doesn't have to be like super loud or super like direct forgiveness. It could be the type of forgiveness or the kind of forgiveness that comes through as what I've been saying very recently, ever since I've learned it, is having a trampoline skin, as Cat Williams said. So basically, forgiveness to a situation could mean that you let go of what just happened. Because letting go could also be a forgiveness, or type of forgiveness. I haven't really analyzed it yet. But I am really loving how that's linked and how that's coming through. So, oh my God, and in forgiveness, the word forge is in there, which means it's like forge ahead, which means it's connected to what I just said, which is the trampoline skin. Like, you basically let go of what just happened. I'm going to say it in this way, like pretend like it didn't happen, but that doesn't mean the ignorance of it, the ignorance aspect of it. That means like pretend it didn't happen so that you can forge ahead. You know what I'm saying? So it really doesn't really kind of play too big of a role in your life. And literally, like, don't give it power. I think that's what's coming through. And then you're able to forge ahead and just kind of continue what the divine kind of has set out for you to do. Now, very interestingly enough, I'm going to say in regards to direction, I can cry at this. Oh my God. I don't know why I can super cry, but there's something coming through with the North Star. So it's kind of like maybe even something like coming home to something, which I think is just so beautiful, especially as a person. And I'm going to tell you this right now, especially as a person, or coming from a person that knows how to home a lot of things in regards to organization, and has done a pretty good job in terms of using my foresight for real estate purposes, in terms of homing other people in where they'd be most happiest and joyous, but from a person that really hasn't done it themselves yet. Like in terms of like has that's been one of my prayers, is to like, I'm just so grateful to like somehow, some way, very soon be able to home myself in terms of where I belong in regards to where my home is. Because I feel, and I'm not going to say I'm homeless or I'm houseless, and thank God for that, but sometimes there's a feeling of that because you're not home yet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take pauses to drink, guys, because whether it's water or whether it's tea, I have to drink. But I gotta get that through my system this morning. But long story short, that's what I mean by like, there's a coming home, where there's a North Star, like you're like, there's the light at the end of the tunnel that you're able to now follow. Like it showed up, you know what I'm saying? Which I'm so grateful for. So that's why I think I'm on the verge of fucking tears and crying. Like my soul is like happy about that. Also relieved about that, happy and how well relieved it is in regards to it. The next card is your wealth, which is a recovery. Now, a lot of you might be really like before today, and even a little bit in regards to today, like could have been so fucking worried about how you're going to do these massive things in life that other people are just doing normally without thinking how miraculous they really truly are. But there are people here that don't know how to do wealth. There are people here that don't know how to do a home. You know, like for instance, like even if they were given a home, they don't know how to fucking take care of a home. You know, like, and that type of thing. You know, there's people here that even are so privy to owning a home and so privy to, you know, receiving full-on wealth that don't have it, you know, and they don't know any longer in regards to how to create it if they've actually done a lot of work in regards to restarting back up again all the time, and recreating themselves, reinventing themselves. All that takes so much work. And, you know, and a lot of the times it involves inconsistency, but like only out of the positive adventure of it. However, it could really take a toll on your strength and your focus, and you know, it can take the joy out of things sometimes, like when it's all too much. So with this wealth, with this recovery being in your wealth, which by the way, I'm going to look up where the moon is at today, but that was a confirmation. Give me 1 second just to look that up, because I didn't look it up. I was just kind of like needing to do something to get out of bed today, because there was a semi, I was going to say, I wasn't going to let depression come over me, that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Where you're just like, what the fuck is going on? That's been my question. What the fuck is going on? But my whole thing is this, I'm very grateful to be coming at you guys with these readings, because if that is my question, what the fuck is going on, that means I have to turn to the cards, right? I have to like kind of see what is the map showing, what is the directional of today. That means like I have this like super like urge of a curiosity, or a surge even. It's not even urge, it's a surge, which I think a surge is more than an urge. It's like a level up. There's a surge of curiosity coming through that I'm just like, dude, knowing something would help me hold on to something. You know what I'm saying? Would help me hold on to, not even the something, hold on to the faith and believing and trusting and receiving of it all, you know? So just know that in your wealth, there's a recovery. Recovery also just came through as like a really good thing. Maybe, you know, maybe you're going to be saved in the perfect timing where it's like, okay, you can actually feel relieved and you can breathe because something positive came through in your wealth area of your life, which is beautiful. So many of us are, oh my God, I can cry at that too. So many of us are just trying to pull through, and we're very grateful for all of the blessings. I was even saying that this morning to pull myself out, but like really trying to feel through it is like I'm so grateful to the miracles of which I'm living on, where it could be from the invisible to the like visible, from the smallest invisible and maximum invisible to the smallest visible and maximum visible, like all of it, like known or unknown, seen or unseen, being able to witness it or not witness it. I'm so grateful for it all, because there is something that is running us behind the scenes that, like, I have to be grateful for. Like, even though I don't know what the fuck is going on sometimes, like, what's taking so long? I think that's the actual question that I'm asking, is not what the fuck is going on, it's what's taking so long. But really, I have to ask the what the fuck is going on, because if I ask what's taking so long, then it's kind of like being in a weird energy of which is like lack, or like a negative spoiledness, you know what I'm saying, which you don't want to be. You just want to be in trusting mode all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. So because it could really block your blessings if you're in that type of just like whammy type of mode, right? It's also like victim mentality in a sense too. So it's like we really try to do our best to just negate the shit out of that, so we can forge ahead and keep on going. By the way, talking about forging ahead, I feel like there's something that you're doing today that you're just basically forgiving the universe for, because I think there's something that's coming through here that you might also be like what's it called? You might be like wanting something so much that you're asking that question, what is fucking taking so long with this? But really, first and foremost, it's like you have to really just humble yourself and fill yourself up with so much love, and just give over that gratitude to the Grandmaster G, to basically say, listen, you're fucking doing your best, and I just have to go with that trusting of it, and literally like give you everything, all of that trust, all of what you need. I'm giving it over to you in straight up forgiveness, to say that, like, also to say that I'm sorry for being so fucking impatient, but like it's just one of those things, So, oh, thank you. Good morning. And so long story short, inside and out, right? To you too. So long story short, the forgiveness is like you're giving over, from your soul, from your beautiful soul. I'm going to just put it that way. Thank you. That's a confirmation. From your beautiful soul, you're just giving over the forgiveness that really the universe deserves for you to give over, so that they can, like, kind of even take it to transmute it into something way better. But also what was coming in first and foremost is to literally just like, you're giving them that energy that they need to kind of go, like, it's kind of like this, when somebody, it's a relief, right? You're giving a relief over to the universe, as if like, like you're taking the pressures off of the universe, is what I'm trying to say. It's kind of like, when you apologize to somebody about something that you did wrong, there's a relief that happens there in between two people that literally just calms both of them the fuck down. It's like, okay, you're on the same page now. You're like, whether or not somebody receives it or doesn't receive it doesn't matter. Like, if one gives the relief or feels the relief of it all, it's kind of like in due time, the other person's going to feel that anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's really not about the other person receiving it. It's more so you giving it, which again, the word give is in forgiveness. So, and that's been coming up a lot lately, forgiveness, which is super crazy. But I think forgiveness happened in your wealth the other day, if I'm not mistaken. But the whole thing is that energy is there. So there's maybe something that's like, and what I'm trying to say here is I'm very grateful for, through these readings, I'm learning more and more about forgiveness, because as a person, of a lot of high standards that is expecting others to live up to those standards as well. And that's just like in a humane and happy way, where, you know, there's people that are not paying attention and they're not living up to those standards. It's like I have a lot of, just, you know, like I have a lot of like black girl anger in me. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, right? So it's like black girl anger, you know, black girl, just like, you know, what's it called? Just like whatever, just it is what it is. It's just like supreme, like powerful anger and resentment even, right? So the whole thing is, that's what needs to be kind of given up and over to the universe to then be able to, what's it called? To then be able to literally just give the relief over within your, like, free yourself, but give the relief to the universe, but also with your health in regards to forgiveness. It adds, like, if you are to forgive certain things that haven't panned out just yet or haven't worked out in your life, that you may thought were going to work out, you literally, what was I going to say? You literally, are adding to your health. Like, you're taking away what is making it so unbearable and fucking negative, and you're just like, that forgiveness is healing you. So maybe there's like a healing that has to happen through forgiveness today, that you're experiencing, and also in your faith and believing, which is going to happen in the near future. So maybe that's a prayer that I'd like to put out for all of us today, is like, you know, for our faith, for more of our faith and believing, is like, actually I just forgot it, but basically it's like, you know, we forgive the lack thereof in regards to faith and believing that we have had in the universe, for all of the things that maybe we have not received, that we've been working really, really adamantly hard towards, and at many points maybe we've also given up on it. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of eventually restart back up about it. Now, by the way, I went to go look to see where the moon is at. I actually don't. It's not showing me, but let me just give me 1 second. The video for a second to look it up, and then I'll come back. Okay, give me 1 second. So the moon is in Capricorn. Okay, so this is such a spectacular day. I'm so grateful. Now, this could be a super serious day. That's all I have to say, and maybe that's why I was having a hard time getting the fuck up out of bed, but also making sure that I do, because, you know, Capricorns fucking pull through. They fucking are self-motivated people, and they just have to fucking show up. Like, that's basically what it is. So, and I'm so everything makes a whole lot of sense through astrology. That's all I have to say. So I'm very grateful for astrology. Now, what I wanted to do was, I wanted to say here, okay, so very interesting. Now, the forgiveness that is in your health has a lot to do with the next card we're going to go over, which is in your love aspect of your life, which is unlikely, okay? Now, this unlikely might sound negative, but as I was saying before, I'm going to just, whatever, I'm trying to like, organize my thoughts here, but I'm going to say this as like, before I started doing the reading, right, I was expressing to you that out of my heart, I was expressing that, like, death doesn't have to be all that fucking dramatic, is what I'm trying to say, talking about Capricorn moon, or the moon being in Capricorn. you can be hella dramatic today, okay? And I'm talking, when I say hella, I kind of mean that, like demonic, right? Because, in the tarot, we're depicted as the devil, so you could be like devilishly dramatic today. So when it comes down, but like, so, and a lot of that has to do with death too, I guess, in a sense, right? So, because if you think about the devil and the death, sometimes I think about, in Hercules, what's the guy, the god of the underworld? I forgot his name. He's kind of sort of like the devil and or death at the same time, right? Devil, demon, death, energy, right? So, I'm still trying to fucking, it's not hearse, but hearse, by the way, is a good luck sign for today if that's coming up. But I forgot his name. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. He's basically a quote unquote villain, right? So the villain might come out of you, which is fine. Just own it and forgive it. And I think that's basically what is happening in regards to the infinity between your health and love today, because the card is unlikely. And as we were saying, forgiveness is in your health. So basically, the forgiveness and the unlikeliness is in infinity of each other, as well as the health and love, which is kind of like, today you might be, let's put it this way in a storyline. It might be a very good service and good health for you to forgive how unlikely it is that you might be falling in love in this life, or how unlikely love might happen in your life. And I'm just putting it that way to be that dramatic, to basically help you let it go, so that you can continue doing what you need to do until love does come in, if it is meant for you. You know what I'm saying? Now, I came from a mindset, and I still do believe it, but I also do believe it in a very realistic way, where I'm like, I feel like everybody's made with like a love interest in mind, or like a love interest like together, but also, life can happen. Supposedly we all have free will too. So the whole thing is, it's like, and I really don't like when people say that, by the way, because let me just tell you something. When people say, oh, they have free will, they can do whatever the fuck they want, that's scary, because a lot of people don't know, when they say they could do whatever the fuck they want, you better know that there is still like this quote unquote Santa Claus looking over at you, like looking down at you to see like what it is that you're actually really fucking doing. By the way, it's on your monies too. You know what I'm saying? So there is an eye of whatever you want to call it. The evil eye, or the devil, not the devil's eye. I was going to say the, God forbid devil's eye, but, I'm going to say the eye of heaven. I don't give a fuck. The eye of heaven, is watching over you. So it's like, and that's way more powerful than the devil, it's like the positivity, like a positive eye is watching over you. So it's like, if a positive eye is watching over you, why would you want to fuck with that? Why would you want to fuck it up? Why would you even, I don't know, you're being watched, right? Like, in a sense, like so the whole thing is, it's like, if you know that you're being watched from a place above or around you, or whatever you believe in, maybe you don't believe in that that's why, okay, thank you. That's why I don't really like that free will thing, because people are out there that think that no one is watching over them. Meanwhile, everything is being fucking watched and recorded, bitch. Like, let's not even play that game. And I felt that in my heart. So it's like, let's not even, and that's God energy right there. So the whole thing is, it's like, don't fuck around with the energy that really kind of created you. You know what I'm saying? Like, honor it and do good with it. And I think maybe that's why the eye is even on our monies, to make sure that, like, listen, I'm watching what the fuck you're doing with the monies, too, to where, It's either you can fuck with it, you can give it away, you can, like, I love that quote, like, everything good doesn't go unseen. I love that. Because all the good, but also all the bad never goes unseen too, right? Because we're dealing with double Capricorn today, which means, and it's a 10-day, bro. It's like so super powerful, and it's crazy because I was preparing for yesterday for today. So the whole thing is in regards to its miraculousness. So like I'm fucking floored by all of what's coming out. But like it's double Capricorn. So the whole thing is double Capricorn, you could do fucking devilish bullshit, or you can really be proactive with your monies in terms of doing something so super good for like, so super good towards another human being, and or what's it called, towards another human being, and or towards like, a good cause, for instance. Like it could be like dogs, you know what I'm saying? And again, that's God. So the whole thing is you could be doing a good cause with your funding without like with being seen by you yourself and you and your own subconscious, as well as the eye of horses coming through twice. So eye of Horus, but also eye of high eye. See, I'm talking. There is something here. Which, by the way, as I'm saying the eye of Horus, like I'm the triangle that is on the monies that we have in the States. And I should have expressed that out before too, but now I'm expressing it. You can be in a triangle position, which means, again, so what I'm trying to say here is I'm looking at the card of recovery in your wealth, and the girl on the card is in a triangular Indian position, but she's like wide open. She's sitting in like crisscross applesauce type of position, but like her hands are wide open, like towards her knees, which is creating a triangular position, which means that if you meditate in that position, you really might get more, third eye wealth knowledge today. Also, make sure to do it on the floor. For some reason, that's been coming through ever since yesterday. I have to get on the floor. Because that is going to ground you. So if you want your wealth to ground, it's a really good way to just sit and just be in that position of just relaxation, recovery, and just groundedness, so that your wealth can really, being shown to you, and or you get to recover in it in whatever way it is shown to you. Wow, this is really amazing because this card came out for me this morning, which is in your joy aspect of life, it's about letting go. And I was just talking about that in regards to the forgiveness card that is in your health. So that makes me think that there's an infinity symbol also being created in regards to your joy and your health today. Which, by the way, to me, for instance, your health is your joy. Your joy is your health. Like, that's one and the same. So I might have to rethink that. That what's it called? That pillar of success. Because, but also that might be like that type of joy and happiness pillar might be a result of you putting really good vibes into your health and your joy, so that you can, and then like as a result, so if you were to put a really good health and really good joy towards forgiveness today, then you basically would receive joyous results in regards to letting go of what no longer serves you, and letting go in just general, like just surrendering. Anything that has to do with letting go, you're just willing to just like chalk it up, give it up, just kind of release yourself from it, relieve yourself from it. Um, excuse me. Now, what I wanted to say here, okay, is the result of your joy and happiness today in regards to letting go has a lot to do with the infinity symbol of your wealth and recovery of it, because there is something here that I feel that is going on with Scorpio energy. Again, I was talking about death, so like a lot of Scorpio energy kind of could be coming through where, you know, like whatever maybe was you were holding on to. Also, Scorpio has a lot to do with letting go and surrendering and all of that. But whatever it is that you might have had like built up in your energy that you might have like taken on as a deep water sign or a deeply emotional person, I feel as though one of the ways to and that's playing out, by the way, in regards to an infinity symbol to your wealth and your result of your joy, is, so that would be like in this case today, recovery in your wealth and letting go in your joy. So that's an infinity symbol, like recovery and letting go and recovery. There, it's like a give and receive energy. But the reason why I'm so grateful to actually also be doing these readings is the way that I'm sitting in these readings, like the position that I'm in, has a lot to do with wealth and recovery, which is what's going on today. But and I'm very grateful for that. But also it has a lot to do with me releasing, because just last night, I'm going to tell you something. Last night, I felt it in the Scorpio placement of your body, which is the root chakra, that I had like a lot, like just like not built up, but like, you know, when you feel crampy, like it's not even crampy. It's like you feel like you need to be stretched. Like that's what it is. Like you just you need to be stretched. And like, and I'm not even talking about it in a sexual way. I'm just talking about regular stretching. But like, so the whole thing is, it's like, I just felt, quote unquote, that trapped energy in there. And I was like, damn, like, I feel very, like, there's a constriction there. So the way that I'm sitting, I get to sit like a confident man with my legs wide open. But at the same time, there's a little bit of resistance where I'm like, in how I'm sitting, so that my root chakra really is open to releasing as I'm literally sitting here. You know what I'm saying? So so one of the results that I get out of this reading today is the joy of letting go while I'm sitting here and speaking about the energies of today, but also I get to speak about, you know, letting go of what needed to be let go in regards to just, you know, at the beginning of this reading, I was saying, I was having to express myself, but also I'm gonna say a positive exertion in expressing myself to release and let go whatever was quote unquote bothering me from the root chakra up, you know. So as I sat in this position, I can sense that like once I kind of opened up, I literally was able to kind of express what needed to come out. So the root chakra to basically expression, and letting it go, like out of my mouth, the root chakra to out of my mouth, came up. And that is a part of my joy where it's like, you know, joy and also recovery, where, you know, it's healing me so that I can literally, just forgive whatever needs to come up just naturally. But in regards to also forgiveness, that's what I wanted to say. It's coming around triangularly where it's like letting go is a form of forgiveness. Letting go is just something that you just don't want to, like, you don't feel like you need to process. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about like deeply emotional shit that you really need to process and you're like ignoring it. But, like, this is the type of stuff that, like, it could be topical, that could piss you off, like, make you livid, and you're just kind of, like, needing to let it go so that you forgive it, right? Like needing to let go of the topical shit so that you forgive as much as possible, so that you can receive an enlightened form of an infinity symbol, which is through basically either a soulmate or your DNA structure, and or just of the northern star divine light. There's just a lot of symbols and charms coming through, which I love. Also could have a lot to do with water signs in regards to Cancer, your Cancer placement in your chart. So yeah, so just sit back and relax today. Make room to recover in your wealth, which means do yourself a favor. If you're not even into yoga, dude, like, make sure to create a yoga space so that you can just call it like a sitting space where you kind of just give yourself time to like relieve and release yourself from like basically whatever you need to do to recover from your wealth, like a pause space, or like when I say pause space, it could be like a space that you go to with your dog, like a PAWS space, where you're just kind of like needing to just sit there, be quiet, and possibly just like be with your dog if it's a pause and pause space. But also, create a space, and it could be like just like on a simple yoga mat, you know what I'm saying? Where you put down a yoga mat as if you're about to do yoga, but you don't have to do yoga. You could just sit there and just like be in the present moment of like you, your dog, and you, and just like, I don't know what's coming through, but like wrestle your dog, or like, do something that like just watch your dog, or like watch your dog play. Like there's something about that that's like super huge in regards to the recovery of your wealth there, where you're like, that'll bring you back to the present moment of what actually matters. And it'll just help you kind of let go and not think of maybe so much of your obsession about wealth. Now, if you have a lot of Scorpio placement in your chart, Scorpios are fixed signs, which means that they are obsessed about Scorpio. They get obsessed, they get fixated. Also, I just realized that Aquarius was coming through before too, and I think Aquarius is also that way. They're like an obsessed fixed sign. And Aquarius, I mean, all three, it's very interesting, those fixated signs, and I don't know who else, I think there's two more, it might be Libra, I don't think it's Libra, I think it's like something else, maybe it's also Capricorn, I have to look up the fixed signs, because I haven't memorized those yet, but like, my whole thing is, there is an obsession here about wealth for some reason, and you're recovering from that, which I am so grateful for, because of the fact that you might have been really trying so super hard with your fixatedness in regards to wealth to kind of like make sure that you kind of stay afloat, and like you do it on a regular basis, and you also consistently stay happy and enjoyable and satisfied and meaningful and purposeful about, your wealth, that, like, you literally, like, I think today is a day where you miraculously get to, like, take a backseat to that shit, because you've, like, done it all, you've tried, up until now, you've tried to really kind of, I'm gonna say, get yourself out of, like, a tight spot, or weasel yourself out of a hole in regards to in a good way, not weasel in a bad way, like kind of like a fish trying to, what is it in Finding Nemo when he gets stuck in like a wreath or something? I think there was a scene in that movie. So it's kind of like that. It's like you're trying, you're like, what, and there's also that quote, never stop swimming. So you've never stopped swimming, and we were just talking about water signs. So it's like you never stop swimming with it, but today Spirit's like you can take a back seat, and I can cry at that because that's so fucking beautiful. Like sometimes you need to sometimes somebody else needs to tell you when to fucking stop because you don't know when to stop, especially when you have a lot of fixated and like I'm going to say energy, but also signs in your chart. You know, you're just you go, you go, you go. It's like you're a workhorse, you know? And in Capricorn season, that is all about being obsessed with working and being a workhorse. And you know, but I also feel though that, and I've felt this for a very long time, ever since like December and even maybe possibly before it in like November, is that the blessed thing that Capricorns get to do now is they get to have a good morning, meaning they get to start off really well. They get to have really good death morning. Like it's kind of like it's meaning like if you need to cry, you get to cry. You get time to cry. If you need to relieve yourself from something, like let go of something, you get to do it in a justified way. There is also what I wanted to say is coming around the bend in regards to, you know, the planet Saturn and how it's the planet of karma. Coming around the bend is a season of where Capricorns get to fucking relax because they can't do it anymore. I think with, you know, CVID like happening, it fucking made us work even harder, right? Like just to fucking stay afloat and like be where we needed to be and show up where we needed to show up. Again, that showing up is a lot. Also, showing up could be very comedy type of vibes, because there is, and I'd recommend that stand-up comedy where it's like just show up. It's by a female, I forgot her name, but she's a really good comedian. And so that's the name of her special. And so go watch that today if that's what you need to do for yourself. But Capricorns definitely need comedy today. You might even turn to comedy very soon because of the fact that you need a way of processing this shit. It's a part of your recovery is also what I'm seeing and getting right now. So we're basically being gifted like the aspect of such good karma, but also, and in the heaviness of it all, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're like, oh my God, wealth can be heavy, death can be heavy, like in the heaviness of it all, which is a double Capricorn day too, by the way, you get to feel a recovery like mode. You get to go into vacation mode, which I can cry because it's like, we've put so much fucking effort and somebody has to tell us when to fucking go into vacation mode a lot because sometimes we're too busy to even structure that for ourselves, or we like it too much, or we're too fucked in regards to being a Capricorn that we're like complete like spirited workhorses. I'm gonna say workhorses have a lot to do with spirit. So we're just constantly going. So it's kind of like you need to turn to spirit today for spirit to tell you like fucking relax, recover. Like your recovery needs to happen in your wealth. So just chill the fuck out and stop worrying. Also, so Capricorns tend to worry a lot. So you might want to refer to the audio book by Dale Carnegie. It's called How to Stop Worrying and How to Start Living More. So I've been like tuning into that book just because, I try to control my worry, but there's always more work to be done when it comes down to that. By the way, talking about more work, there is not only fucking invisible and physical work, but there is inner work and outer work. You know what I'm saying? So inner work might be, and that's also when it comes to giving too. Like I said, like there's all four of those also applies to the giving. So you can give yourself inner work, invisible work. You can give yourself outer work, visible work. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the yin and yang. And so, what I wanted to say there was, you're allowing, today, Spirit is allowing you to let yourself go into what Spirit needs you to do on a lackadaisy type of fucking way, where it's like, okay, you get to weave, you get to bob and weave in a good way. Like, you just get to weave in and out of what you think, or not even what you think, what you're getting to spiritedly do, which also has a lot to do with no time at all, by the way. And it's crazy because, like, in one of my decks of cards, it says, time doesn't exist in heaven. Time only exists on earth. And I was like laughing at that this morning because I said to myself, okay, heaven, I know that somehow you say it doesn't exist, like time doesn't exist in heaven, which, you know, I'm pretty sure that that's true because there's really no reason for it. Unless it's like divine perfect timing, which I believe that God is in charge of. But at the same time, I was like, for us to get on the same page with one another in this life, and also see the signs and synchronicities, right? Which has a lot to do with time, 11:11, you know, things like that, repeating numbers. Like, the perfect timing is in the time that actually happens down here on earth. Like, it gets us on the same page. It gets us, like, on a schedule. It gets us kind of more structured to do positive things. So, but my whole thing is, I think we're understanding time with the infinity symbol of being the symbol of the year, you know, the charm of the year. We're understanding that we're getting a new understanding of what time really is, and maybe what we need to, how we need to take control back with our own time, and what we're going to be doing with that, going forward in regards to what meaningful and purposeful direction we need to be taking for ourselves and for our lives, right? So this is, I feel like, a time of reflection, a time of what you get to do, what you want to do in a positive way, not in like in a humbled way, not in a like in an egotistical way. And like, I feel like Spirit's showing you that you get to do what you've been wanting to do the entire time now, as like a gift, because you've let go of a lot of other things. Like, letting go has a lot to do with decluttering and discerning, right? So you've done all of that work to full capacity, I feel. And even if you're going to be doing it today as well, like in regards to like organizing more, you're at least going to be doing it in a fun way. There's going to be fun work ahead for you, and enjoyable and satisfactory and just positive things. Even if it's like one thing that you do for today, you're going to be doing it in such a purposeful, meaningful, positive, what was I going to say, satisfactory and enjoyable way. Like, it's going to be beautiful, you know? And you get to enjoy, you get to take your time and do it. You get to really kind of, and that's unicorn status. There's a unicorn miraculous status that's happening in a lot of the positive, enjoyable, satisfactory, meaningful and purposeful and joyous Capricorns today. Like, really, there's a lot of that coming through. So we get to just receive. There's a whole lot of, wow, there really is. There's like 3 cards of receiving. Oh my God, maybe even 4 cards. Maybe all 4 cards are like open wide to receiving. They're just open. Wow, that's amazing. Something is, in the ethers, I feel like has opened up, but you're opened up to the ethers at the same time in a positive way only, where, you're open up to only the joyous, only the God himself type of thing, only your spirit guides, only your guardian angels, only your positive ancestors. Now, today is a day, of feng shui, where I've labeled it to be health. Okay? Health, healing, joy, so that has a lot to do with forgiveness today. So please be sure to really make sure to forgive yourself in the most highest and best positive way, but also give it over to the God, and also make sure to really kind of forgive the universe for having what you think they've negatively done to you in just give it over in a positive way, as if like, you have to, you kind of sort of need to, and you'll be feeling that too. That's a feeling, a genuine feeling that's going to come through, where you're going to feel like you kind of need to do this. You're praying about it. You're like really doing the letting go work. And the letting go work is allowing you to really release and being able to truly forgive, truly, like deeply. There was a honk in the background, so that was a confirmation. I love it. I love it. So whatever giving you're going to do today is the forgiveness, okay? And that's just, whether you have to explain yourself to somebody, just do something of which would have to, of which would help you reset, okay? Reset your ways. So forgiveness is like, restart, reset. What else? Restart, reset, just breathe better, begin rebreathing is what I want to say. Like a breath of new, fresh air, is coming through. And I think I believe that the universe is giving that to you, to where you just kind of get to like let go, as if like you're not even a part of this world anymore, or part of the traditional world. You're part of like the new world. Oh wow, that's crazy. So you might want to tune into that book too, by person's not coming to me, but there's a new world. Excuse me. That Oprah, and it starts with an E. You might want to tune into that audiobook. It's a spiritual one. It's New World. I think it's called New World or New Awakening. Can't remember. Not by Elon Musk, but it's by the author's with an E. I can't think of it right now, but yeah, so I don't know. I'm just like, I think this has a lot to do with, okay, this is interesting. As you let go of what you need to do, of maybe your past, and also what you need to do, you are going to be more focused on the future. You're kind of letting go of everything, miraculously so too, so that you could be more fixated on your now and in the future. Like what's going on now for you, and what do you want to like be more positively focused on when it comes to facing forward and going towards the future. So that's probably why you're doing a whole lot of this letting go. So again, unicorn status is coming through, as well as directional, as well as home. You might be planning out where you're going to be living. North Star energy. Maybe even it's in a person, maybe it's a person before it can be in an actual home. Like, you don't know how it works out. Maybe it's not a home first. Maybe it's a person first. As they say, when you find true love, it's home. But I feel like it's going to be the physical aspect of life, because in your love today, you got unlikely. So we got to deal with the real answers there, where it's like, you might just be more focused on like where or how you're going to plan out your actual living aspect of your life. You know what I'm saying? So, anywho's, I think we've come to the final yeah, we've come to the end of the reading. I think I'm gonna go recover. And let me see what's going on. Actually, can I just grab... Give me 1 second just to grab... Holy shit, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna just unite the cards real quick. So your midway happy way is gonna be the wealth in this type of spread of a reading all the time, which is recovery. So you get to just fucking chill out. You get to just chill out and like relax. You know what I'm saying? And also just be with you and yourself, and you know, those that watch over you, just to kind of I'm telling you, like, with this Capricorn energy, there's a lot of fucking relaxation. And the people that really, fucking deserve the relaxation, that relaxation is coming through hard, where, like, I think people might even be so pissed off in how you're enjoying it so much because of the fact that it's like, and that's coming through straight from the 18, because it's like, oh, if they know that maybe you're an artist not making consistent monies, or you don't have a job yet and you're kind of like in transition of like trying of waiting to hear back from a job or finding, you know, whatever the case may be, you are doing a really good job in regards to recovering in a very wealthy mode. I think that's what needed to come out. That truly needed to come out. And it is, and so in your love, it's unlikely. So it's kind of like, I don't know what the unlikely thing here is. It's like unlikely, but oh, okay, this is what's coming through. But like those that watch over you are really going to help you to not be like, whenever you're relaxing, like, don't be afraid to relax in front of people, because it is unlikely that they are going to hate you as much as you think they would, or disapprove of it. I always think of like hatred as disapproval too, for some reason. It's so annoying. But when you go into relaxation mode, I feel as though you're doing it with so much love that spirit is going to block off their unlikeliness to fucking hate you for it, because you're doing it so well. You know what I'm saying? And you're like being so in your love that it's like that's exuding out of you, that it's like maybe they do want you to be more of that rather than stressed out and fucking pissed off. And I mean, honestly, you know, in double Capricorn, like, and by double Capricorn, I mean sun and moon both being in Capricorn today, that if you don't fucking relax, you can literally be like double demonic. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like spirit knows to protect your ass while you're in relaxation mode. You know what I'm saying? What was I going to say? So it's unlikely that these people who would disapprove of you or hate what you're doing, or like would actually be hating on you. And why that matters most is why I'm talking about it is because there's so many people out there that literally are talking of, like, they're literally empaths. They can feel other people hating them. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you're talking about ADHD, and we don't talk about this enough, I don't think this has been revealed at all just yet, is that when you are an empath and you also come from an ADHD or ADD type of person, meaning your mom was, and you then have a lot of it too, where you're trying to control that shit on your own, and you're trying to surpass it, and you're trying to really kind of like use it in a positive way to help you navigate through this life, you know, as even a unicorn status, you know, would, I guess. But my whole thing is like, what I wanted to say here is, what was I talking about? I was talking about ADHD. It's like, okay, this is what I want to say is like, along with the the moon, the sun and the moon in Capricorn, like if you have all this coming at you, oh, that's why. So the whole thing is you have to relax because of the demonicness, but like you don't want that demonicness coming out of you. But also like you want to be in a positive predisposition is what I'm hearing, right? At all times. So you're going to need a lot of reset time. But what I wanted to say here is that okay, yeah, we were talking about the empaths. If you're an empath also dealing with, you know, the mother side of you that has ADD or ADHD, and then your own ADD and ADHD, that's like a lot of like those three, there's a lot of energy kind of coming at you that you have to kind of always be navigating, you know, the emotions of pretty accurately, to get through this life in a positive way and in a, you know, living way. I'm like so proud of myself as I'm fucking even saying this shit. I'm like, holy shit. Like, and yes, take reflection time to be like, holy fuck, like that's a lot of fucking work that I've had to fucking come through on, you know? But what I'm trying to say is a lot of the times people like me who have all that going on, they literally don't want to take the time out because they're being watched, right? And by them being watched, they're also being hated, and they sense that and they know it, and they don't want to feel the fucking haterade anymore. They don't want to feel the disapproval anymore. And I can cry at that, like, cause it's like, you know, you need to rest, but like, in case you're getting caught resting, it's like, you don't want to feel the shame or the guilt or the disapproval or the fucking hatred about it, or like even the repercussions of somebody fucking saying some shit about it. So you're always like in hiding, or you're always like in, you know, having to guard yourself and shield yourself, or having to, you know, in a spiritual way, or having to like just go and be even more secretive about your life for no fucking reason, when all you want to do is just fucking relax. Like, it's not even a big fucking deal. But, you know, there could have been a lot of other people like in your life that are also haterades because let's say they came from a different era. They don't know how to relax. They weren't given that choice. They can't give it to themselves because they came from a amen to thriving, but they came in from a survival mode. But what they're not acknowledging within you is that you also are in survival mode because maybe they haven't survived enough to fucking help your ass out. Do you get what I'm saying? And not only that, but it's not that I'm relying on that, because of course, if somebody were to help their ass out to go from survival to thrival, it doesn't mean that they have the right, or they have the responsibility, or they have the mindset that wants to fucking help you out as their own child. That, you know, even though I think it's pretty fucking wrong, because I come from a teamwork aspect of life, so I feel like if somebody struggle, you know, just like the whole Toy Story, like no good soldier leaves his soldier behind, leaves another soldier behind. That was the mindset that I came from for a very long time. And I think that's our natural mindset in general as a humanity. But the whole thing is, it's like, you know, once money comes into play and like people work quote unquote so hard for it, you know, again, traditional era, you know, they work so hard for it. It's like they don't want to share it at the end of the day, you know, or they don't want to give it away at the end of the day, or they don't see them, you know, sharing it with you as a good thing at all because, you know, you didn't work as hard as them or whatever, or they might take away from you working hard towards your life or whatever the case may be. It's so stupid. Because again, your children, by the way, are like, what is it called? It's a case by case. It's a case by case manner. You know what I'm saying? That you need to be looking at your children. Like, you know, if somebody has come at you and said to you in real life, this is real life. Like, so I've noticed, and this is like crazy, talk about signs and charms and all that stuff. If somebody ever came at you to tell you as a parent, you've done a good job with your kids, right? Why wouldn't you accept that as a truth when it is the truth, right? But also, why would you give more of your kids a hard time when really they've fucking you've done a good job, they're exuding good jobness. Why wouldn't you fucking want to add to their life in a good way when all they're missing is money? Do you get what I'm saying? This is what I'm trying to say. And I'm not saying all kids fucking deserve it, because again, you can have two kids, one of super demonic fuckingness and one of angelic likeness, to come out of your fucking, I was going to say pie hole, but really it's like, it's really the underbelly of the pie hole, right? So, long story short, that came out crazy, but I loved it. So my whole thing is, it's like, so the fucking, or under the belt pie hole, but like the whole thing is, so you choose. I mean, I would fucking choose, because it's like, yeah, you give the monies to where it's at, just like to where it's deserved, just like you would out in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're generous to those that really fucking deserve. But there are those parents and mothers, since we're talking about mother energy here, that like literally are in competition with their daughters, or they don't see the value of their daughters, that they would never even fucking help out. You know what I'm saying? Even if your daughter is a good fucking daughter, you would never even fucking help out. And P.S., you could be doing the using and abusing of your own mother as a mother, and, in regards to wealth too, and you're not sharing it at all with, the daughter that you have of your own, possibly thinking, that she doesn't deserve it because you don't trust yourself in the matter. You know what I'm saying? So there's just like there's so much fucking detail to this life, and the devil is in the details, right? So, and when people say, oh, it doesn't matter, it matters, because it's a buildable fucking structure. It's like a buildable brick to the entire fucking structure. If one brick wasn't put down, that means the entire structure can fucking fall at any given moment, and that's unsafe. It's unsafe, right? So the whole thing is, it's like, create safety and make sure that you take the quote unquote devil is in the details. Also make sure, talking about, I just thought of how the devil is, there's another saying, the devil is at play when the mind is at rest, or something. When the mind is at rest, the devil's at play. That's another saying. And I'm just letting you know right now that that's not going to happen for the people that are in positive mode today, that have been doing the work. You know what I'm saying? So don't make that a fear. Just keep applying yourself towards, if anything, like high vibed creativity, organization, stuff that like, planning, like stuff that, Capricorns love to do. Like you can like, and read, do some proactive shit if you really think that you're gonna, if like with rest, like you could be proactive and resting kind of at the same time, which is basically flow. Amen. It's like non-stressful type of work. That's flow. Amen. And that's exactly what I'm asking for my life. So the whole thing is, work at play is what I just heard too. So, take that as it resonates. Don't be scared of resting. Don't be scared of like devil being at play type of thing. And just know that your joy and your happiness today is in just completely fucking releasing, completely letting go. Like maybe you might want to go float somewhere. Like I think flotation has been coming up a lot, which means that you can either float in a pool, go into like, I mean, it's winter now, but if you were in a spot in the world where it's warm, you can go into, again, go ground, like go outside, go in the grass, just lay in the grass, have a picnic, go on a yoga mat, just sit there and like for at least 3 minutes and just chill and do fucking nothing, my happy place is a hammock. It's like literally a smiley face. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, it's like, I have a hammock. I'm very grateful for it. And I literally, that's my happy place. I go to it, and that's my complete surrender and lounging mode to where I can zone out. I can listen to an audiobook. I can be in nature. I could be, just completely like letting go and healing and forgiving and just, but also, listening to an audiobook, getting inspired, watching nature. I fucking love it, dude. Like the power of a hammock, holy shit, you get like everything all in one, and such happiness again there, such joy. So if you have a hammock or if you have like a little swing, like go on a swing, like just go let go. Do something. If you go get a massage, oh my God, I love massages because I just literally fucking, just amazingly let go. And maybe that's what I need for my birthday this year. I just need a fucking super ass massage. And I know exactly where to go for it. Yeah, just one of those things. It's just like, just get yourself a massage. Oh, in the near future, I'm going to have faith and believe that in the near future, I'm going to have such a good fucking massage. Dudes, oh my God, I'm so happy. So, yeah, so I'm putting that out there for you guys too, because I feel like if the whole fucking world had massages, man, we'd be so chill, dude. It would be amazing. It would be so amazing. Also, you might want to sing today. Like, and by the way, I can sing from my fucking hammock too, bitch. Because I have like a mic that literally just I can fucking sing from. So I might just do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the fun that comes out of today. I'm excited. Those were all really good ideas. So, yeah, so basically, have a great day, guys. Today's a divinely, guided, divinely inspired. Yeah, sorry about that. Today's a divinely guided, divinely inspired day when it comes down to just miracles happening. There's going to be a miracle and happening in your forgiveness mode, and you're just like, everything's being lifted off of you. I just feel so grateful for today. So sending many grateful and divine blessings your way, but not only your way, throughout your entire day today, so that you can have just a way more peaceful result in your joy, of which is, going to be letting go of some kind. So enjoy that letting go process, baby. Anyhow, have a beautiful day, guys. And for those of you that joined in, thank you so much for joining in. I really appreciate it. And we'll talk soon. Bye.